Bonjour.
Bonjour.
It is 9:30 in the morning, and it is Roland Garros day. I'm Gill. Informal. It's a vlog. It's the French Open vlog. This is my girlfriend Jenna.
Hi.
It's a big day. I've never been to the French Open. You've never been to a tennis tournament.
It's a huge day.
First on the agenda is to find a cafe. We need coffee. You don't need coffee. She doesn't drink coffee. I need coffee. Perhaps a baguette. This is behind us. We found a very beautiful place. We found City Hall. We are in Levallois-Perret. And we don't know like any French
At all.
So we are going, when we're in this cafe, we're going to try to learn some French so we can get by. What'd you get?
I got chocolate croissant.
I got a latte. I just forced Jenna to try my latte. Did you like it?
No. It was horrible. So we just studied basic French words, so now I'm going to test Gill and make sure that he knows actually what's going on. Okay, so how do you say hello?
Bonjour.
Good. Please.
What is it?
S'il vous plaît.
S'il vous plaît.
Okay, you're not going to know that one. Maybe
I know, thank you, merci.
Good job. Yes.
Oui.
Yes. Excuse me.
Excusez-moi.
I like that one.
I hear the French they're very serious about saying bonjour. When you see someone, you say bonjour. Very important. Very different from New York. When you see someone, you ignore them if you don't know them. But here, bonjour.
Bonjour.
We're gonna get an Uber, right?
Yeah.
To Roland Garros.
Yeah.
Coming back later tonight. Beautiful. Alright, in the Uber. Let's go over the day. First of all, I said this in my last vlog. This is the second vlog because I went to the City Open with Billy, right? And I vlogged that.
This one's gonna be better.
Talking a big game.
I am.
I don't like vlogs. I hate vlogs. I think they're dumb because why should other people care about someone else's life going about their own business? Like, why should people spend their time in someone else's life? Dumb.
You should stop right now.
No. Here's why this vlog is good. Thank you for that transition.
You're welcome.
This vlog is good because it's not about us or our lives. It is about experiencing the tournament. It is about experiencing Roland Garros. So that's the goal here. We have grounds passes, no Chatrier, no Longland, although at the US Open and Wimbledon in the afternoon you can stand by the exit, and people who want to leave early, you can get their tickets. Does that happen at the French Open? We're going to find out. You're going to find out with us, hopefully. Hopefully we get into one of the stadiums. But for now, we have a grounds pass. Nishikori and Laslo Djere play on court 1. That's probably the headliner. We're gonna go through the schedule in a little bit more detail, but getting a feel for the grounds, getting a feel for the food, getting a feel for the culture. That's what this is gonna be all about. All right, we're looking at the schedule. First up on Chatrier is Pliskova and Martic, and then Klizan and Pui. Then it's Muguruza and Svitolina. And then Nadal and Goffin is last up on Chatrier. Yes?
Nadal is one of 5 tennis players I know, so I'm hoping he gets that one.
That's big. That's big. They moved Tsitsipas after that too. How are they going to finish all these matches on Chatrier? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 matches. How are they finishing? They're not going to. It's going to get too dark. They have no lights. Jenna, how do you feel about no lights at the French Open?
All right, this is stupid. It's 2019. Can we just put some lights
This is ridiculous.
on the tennis court.
Only one more year we get to complain about this before they install lights next year. But we are going to take this year and we are going to complain all year.
It's so barbaric. Like, oh, I'm sorry, we have to stop playing tennis because it got dark.
Okay, let's go to Suzanne Longland.
Sevastova, I know that name.
Sevastova plays Mertens.
Federer, I know that one. Honestly.
Federer plays Casper Ruud. Sloane Stephens plays Hercog. Then the last match on Suzanne Longland, I'm a big fan of this match. Again, hoping that maybe we could see it. It's Wawrinka and Dimitrov. Cinderella story of the French Open. Nicolas Mahut. Do you recognize that name? There's one reason you might. Nicolas Mahut?
No.
He played that really long match with John Isner at Wimbledon that went like 3 days long.
Yeah.
He lost that match. He's taking on Leo Meyer, who beat Diego Schwartzman in the last round. And then Kanta plays Kuzmova. Last up on Simone Matteu. Then court 1. Open to us and our grounds passes. Starts off with some doubles with Chardy and Martine. I don't know the other pairing. But French pairing first up. We might see the end of that so we can ensure that we have seats for the next match, which is Kei Nishikori and Laslo Djere. Mute takes on Londero, the Argentinian. I don't know too much about these guys, but Mute is very, very young, and I'd like to see him because I'd like to do a bit of scouting. Play it by ear, be spontaneous. Next time I see you, we will be on the grounds. States, we call this a line. In London, we call this a queue.
We don't know what we call it in France.
We don't know. But there is a big one to try to get on court 1. So we're going to have to wait because we want to get on this court if we're going to see Nishikori later. Right now it's doubles with Jeremy Chardy and his partner, who I forget. But I'm very impressed with the early arriving crowd here at Roland Garros. We got here before first ball, about 10:45 local time. First ball at 11 a.m. and so many people already here. That's not like that at the U.S. Open, so very impressed. Shout out to Jeremy Chardy's inside-in forehand return. What a shot. What a shot. Laslo Djere, this clay court season, has beaten Dominic Thiem, Felix Auger-Aliassime twice, Juan Martín del Potro, Dusan Lajovic, and I think I'm missing someone. What?
And he's not even the favorite.
What a summer. That's right. Kei Nishikori is the favorite.
Because he's number 7.
Yes,
in
very
the world.
good. Yes, he is. He looks beautiful in his Uniqlo.
He really does,
over there.
though.
Yeah, isn't that?
White,
He's got the best.
Together.
Yes, he's got, I think, the best.
But the shoes don't go with it.
That's
He's
true.
got the pink laces
I think
going right now.
Uniqlo puts together great kits for Nishikori, very consistently. Not very good for Federer. Anyway, the second story I want to tell before we get settled in on this match is
What?
nothing. Laslo Djere has one of the best stories on tour. So he lost his mother to cancer when he was young, in his teens. But then earlier this year, he lost his father as well, also to cancer. So that was just before his tournament in Rio de Janeiro, and he ended up winning that tournament. So Djere, it's an emotional time for him. It has been, I think, all summer, but he's playing the best tennis of his life. This should be a really good test for Kei. 5-4 in the second set. Who do you think's gonna win? Oh, I didn't even say. Nishikori won the first set 6-4.
I'm in Nishikori's corner. I'm feeling it. I really like what he's doing.
Okay.
It's a fun side note. The crowd here is very, very into this match. There's a set of like 3 guys from Serbia, all wearing Serbia soccer jerseys, and every time they're going synchronized clapping the whole 9 yards. It's very entertaining.
Yes.
Fun.
Tiebreak.
You wanted me to say something there, and I didn't know what to say.
The ooh was good.
Oh, thank you.
It is a set apiece.
That was a tiebreak, though. That was really intense.
It was. It came down to a couple points. Nishikori had a set point, these players. Djere has, I'd say, a bit more power, but Nishikori takes more time away. The consistency has been pretty even across the board. The serving has been up and down on both sides. Same with the returning. I mean, this is a very, very tight match. There's a disparity in the rankings here. Nishikori, a top 10 guy. Laslo Djere just outside the top 30. But on this surface,
It's hard to tell.
very little between these two.
One more set. You can do it, buddy.
Set point, third set to Nishikori.
My
That was his
man.
best set. That was his best set. Now he won that set 6-3 with 2 breaks. He won the first set 6-4, but I would say the overall quality was higher in the third set than it was in the first. Nishikori played his best set of the match there. Unbelievable defense, great depth on his rally balls, cleaner hitting, taking away a lot more time than Djere. You know, Djere's a very tough player, but he is pretty one-dimensional. And when Nishikori kind of opens up his full arsenal offensively, you can see the difference there. Are you happy with that set?
I was very happy with that set.
That's
He has
good.
one more set now. Take it home.
Yeah. Nishikori's your favorite player now?
No.
Who's your favorite player?
I like Nadal. Tsitsipas. I like the name.
So Tsitsipas?
I don't actually know. I like Nadal.
Well, they're both playing today, so maybe we can find out.
Okay.
We are going the distance. 3 hours, 17 minutes. We've been here since the last set of the last doubles match. Sometimes attending tennis events, especially when you have a grounds pass, there's lines out the stadium and it's late in the tournament, right? It's the third round, so there's not that many options. Comes a battle of attrition. Have I went to the bathroom recently? No, I haven't. Did we just watch the longest match of the French Open?
I think so. 4 hours and 26 minutes?
So far we did. We're ready to chat. We're waiting in line for Gram Gelato.
I had it in Italy. It's so good.
Okay, so we're excited. Notice, by the way, our skin is a little bit more red than when we came in. And we don't burn easily. So that's what that match did to us. All right, a couple things we need to talk about. First of all, I don't know what to start with. First of all, I'll start with the match. Kei Nishikori, 9-7 in the fifth. You know, I said at the top that there wasn't a lot separating these two, and that certainly proved to be true. But at the end of the day, I think Nishikori, what's so impressive is a lot of his game is problematic on clay courts. One thing, he doesn't have a kick serve, which is horrible on clay courts. That's the most important serve on clay because it pushes your opponent back. yes, it's hard to hit aces on clay. It's hard to get as much as you want to get out of your slice serve and your flat serve, but your kick serve, because of the high bounce, it's great on clay. It pushes opponents back. Nishikori doesn't have that serve, so that's one thing. Second thing is he lacks the easy power. Now, when Nishikori sets up and he's at a spot and he gets to put all of his hips and all of his legs into a ground stroke, he can play with a lot of power, but you can't always have all that time to kind of load up your body. Sometimes you're on the run. And what we saw is a guy in Djere, who is very strong, a lot bigger, 6'2", 6'3"-ish, who had that easy power, who could turn defense into offense on this surface. Nishikori is too small. He can't really do that.
5'10".
He's 5'10", that's right.
Thank you for teaching.
So, what's amazing is that Nishikori is so precise, hits with so much depth, his ball striking and his ability to play on the rise is so good, and his defense is so persistent that despite these clay court disadvantages, he's able to still win. But as I was watching this match, I realized that Nishikori is a bit of a tweener because his weakness, which is his serve, it's the best weakness to have for clay because you get into so many rallies. When he goes onto grass, he's at a disadvantage because his opponent's getting free points and he's not getting as many free points. And when he comes onto clay, he has other issues, power issues, strength issues. So I think that's why he's best in that happy medium, hard court. I was impressed with Djere though. He's got the three things that makes you very successful on clay. In my opinion, my three, which I said in the French Open preview: strength, fitness, which we certainly saw by both of these players, and consistency. Unforced errors was even throughout this whole match, pretty much. Okay, next topic. So some people in the media have been saying, oh, what a shame, this is terrible, nostalgic, court one. Well, what did you think of the court?
I thought it was a nice court. I liked it. The only thing is, like, we were sitting at first, you couldn't see, like, the bottom part of the court because of the railing, so hopefully they fix that in the new one. But I thought it was very intimate.
It was.
I liked that. I felt like I could see everyone, even the people like across the way from us. I feel like I could like make out like who they are. Like, I don't know. It made it feel more like I don't know what to. I'm going with that.
Right. No, it's intimate, so that's great, and that's why when French players play on court one, it's got great atmosphere. But again, like that frustrated me. So as Jenna said, like, you're literally, if you're sitting behind the baseline, you can't really see the near side player if he's more than 7 feet behind the baseline.
Less than that, you could barely see him. Even at the baseline, you could barely kind of see him.
Yeah.
I had to reach over and look.
So basically, what I was finding is that I could only watch the full technique of the far side player, which was very frustrating. So we moved. I don't think they would ever build a new stadium with that as a problem. The second thing, there's no jumbotron, there's no replay.
True.
Right?
There's only two. There's two smaller ones. We only saw one of them.
But they're very small, but they're used as scoreboards. So the reality is, here's the thing. It's time for court one to go.
It was very pretty though. The outside has flowers and greenery all
yes,
around.
Yes, it's very pretty. But court Simone Mathieu is even prettier.
Oh really? Did we see that one?
No,
okay.
I don't think we're going to get to see it.
Okay, sad.
Anyway, so I know it's very in style to kind of complain about older courts that's nostalgic and great matches have been played on them. You know, complain that they're leaving, but certainly it's time for court one to go. But what a match.
It was really cool.
Okay, I think there's one more thing to talk about. One sec, video.
And we're back.
We're back. Best of 5, best of 3.
Oh my
It's a topic in the tennis world. Okay, this is a topic. Jenna, you have an opinion.
I'm a figure skater, and I know you get your 2 minutes to go out there and shine. 4 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it is. You do not need 5, best of 5. It's too much. Best of 3. Way to go.
Okay, so I don't fully agree, but here's what I will say.
Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
In the situation that we were in, we had grounds passes. There were long lines outside to get into court one. And because it's the third round, there are not a lot of options for grounds passes. Especially because here at the French, the top three courts, Suzanne Lenglen, Philippe Chatrier, and Simone Mathieu, are all ticketed courts. Grounds passes are courts 1 through 14. We don't have a lot of options. So basically, we had to sit in our seats for over 4.5 hours.
Like 5.5.
The doubles was so quick.
But we were waiting 40 minutes outside.
Oh yeah, well I'm not counting waiting on
I'm just kidding.
Anyway, so we couldn't go to the bathroom, you can't eat for a very, very long time. From a spectator's perspective, not okay, like very bad. We were troopers, especially this one, and we did it, but not good. But I think it's okay, first of all, if you're in a stadium where you can get up and then you come back to your seats. And I also think, more importantly, it's okay for TV. And spectators aren't important in the economics of tennis. TV viewing is important. So in our situation, best of 5 wasn't great. But I think if you have your TV on, you can go.
Yes, you can go and
do whatever you want. Come back to the match, right? You can even channel flip if you want. If you get bored, you can leave and come back to the match. In that case, I feel like the benefits of best of 5, which is epic matches and Kei Nishikori would have won a best of 3 set match, but it looked like Laslo Djere might have won that match, and he would have won. Nishikori would have won easily if it was best of 3. It's part of the mystique of majors. It's part of what makes winning a major so difficult. And there's nothing quite like a 5th set. 3rd sets are great, decisive 3rd sets, but a 5th set is very special. Okay, we've hit all of our topics.
Yay.
Right now, we're just gelato and food and espresso and all that good stuff. Break point. 4th set. Mute down 2 sets to 1. Would have been just about impossible to get a seat at that Mute match, but we did get a little opening and we watched a little. From what I saw, and again, I saw very little. That's a very interesting game he's got. I saw a serve volley. I saw him. It was clear he was coming to the net was at the forefront of his mind at all times. He had a lot of lefty spin on his serve, and on his forehand he finishes over the same shoulder, gets a lot of spin on that, and I saw him very willing to grind, scramble, and play defense, and do so with some success.
And he worked the crowd.
Yeah. Oh, so this is something I was saying. I mean, Nishikori always has so many people. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nishikori always has so many people supporting him in the crowd, but he's a little bit low energy between points, I would say.
He kind of keeps to himself, and it's very much like keep your head in the game kind of
yeah.
thing, I feel like.
And I mean, sometimes he almost gives off this kind of lackadaisical, kind of tired vibe, I would say. Yeah, let's sit down. If he showed a little bit more emotion and just made sure to every once in a while let the crowd know that he's still fighting and that he cares, because we know he is still fighting.
I wasn't
just
so
doesn't
sure.
show it. It's true. Yeah. When
I
he was
wasn't so sure.
so he was down 3-love in the 5th set. 2 breaks, by the way. Not even a 1-break 3-love. A 2-break 3-love. Yeah, and you said...
I was like, he's done, he's given up, he's done.
Yeah.
No more.
I just thought when I was watching Nishikori that he could get the crowd on his side more, or he could get the crowd more vocal if he just showed a little more. Moutet, you could see, was working the French crowd, which was good. Last time we checked a scoreboard, Nadal, or I should say Goffin, was serving for the third set against Nadal. So we're going to try to find a screen and watch Rafa. We're shopping, as one does.
Time to shop.
You're not.
I don't know.
Alright, what we got?
Alright, so my cousins are huge tennis fans and we're super jealous that I'm here, so I had to get them each a towel. So I got one in both colors, of course, for them. And then I got a shirt.
I got the same shirt.
Yeah.
It was the coolest one.
Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty dope.
Eiffel Tower deal, Roland Garros. I also got a mug, coffee mug.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
You'll see it one time, I'm sure, if you watch the channel.
He's going to be using it religiously.
Yeah. So, right now we got on both screens, hanging out in the shade, watching Nadal, who's up a break in the fourth set, and Moutet, who's just starting a fifth set at the same time, right outside Suzanne Longland. They just moved Wawrinka Dimitrov to court 1, and everyone's running for it. Everyone's running to court 1. Rightly so. Here we go. God, this is funny. Oh my God. This is hilarious. Holy crap.
We just friggin' ran.
Okay, so
We got good seats.
look, here's what happened too. There was not a notification. There was not an announcement.
Yeah, there was nothing. Everyone just checked their
I
app.
opened my phone, okay, to check the schedule, and I look at Suzanne Longland, and I see Sloane Stephens is going into a third set, and I'm like, where the heck is Wawrinka and Dimitrov? It's not in the schedule. And I scroll down, and I see it on court 1. It was moved to court 1, and now everyone is literally running over here and filing in. I'll show you what this looks like. I mean, this was a good catch, and what a gift.
This is literally what he wanted to see. One of the ones he really wanted to see.
So we are in the shade.
Thank God.
Didn't have to wait on any lines.
No, there's no one around.
And Stan Wawrinka is on the court already. I don't know why. Anyway, let's go. Wawrinka Dimitrov, that's our next match. We saw the first set, Dimitrov, Wawrinka. Wawrinka won in a tiebreak. Then they said Philippe Chatrier was free access. So we're seeing the big, humongous stadium, and she's very excited. Why?
Because I love Tsitsipas.
Because of
His last name.
That's
so
right.
friggin' cool. I have a new favorite player. His name is Stefanos Tsitsipas. He's from Greece, and he was wearing all blue, and he was killing it out there.
Blue's her favorite color.
Yeah.
What else do you like about him? Do you like that?
I thought his forehand serve was very strong.
His forehand or his serve?
His forehand. I said forehand serve.
Both are very strong. Yeah, so Chatrier is gorgeous.
Oh my god, oh yeah, that was awesome too.
Yeah, gorgeous. Beautiful stadium. We're leaving the beautiful.
Oh,
that was weird.
That was so funny.
Roland Garros grounds.
So sad, but it was a good day. It was a long day.
Yeah.
But really worth it.
Hello. My phone died in the Uber.
It died when we were trying to record this video. So.
Don't tell them that. Yeah, this is take 2 of our debriefing, and we were like 8 minutes in. Unbelievable. This is our living room of our Airbnb because we don't live in Paris.
Really?
No.
Ah.
We don't live here.
Thank you for telling me that. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Well, now you know. Okay. It's your first tennis tournament ever.
Yes.
So I want to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes.
There's no right or wrong answer.
Okay.
Are you nervous?
A little bit.
What took you by surprise?
Let me think. I don't know if I was so much, I didn't really know what to expect in anything, so I don't think I was surprised as much by anything, but I was kind of just taking it all in and being like, oh, so this is how tennis tournament kind of works. So, like, I didn't really know about the whole court thing, that there's a bunch of other little courts besides, you know, the big ones that you always see on TV, and, like, that was, I think, one thing. And then also, like, the crowds, like, the people that are watching, like, very, very different than, like, a football game or, like, anything like that. Mm-hmm. It's very respectful and quiet until after a point.
Yeah, so I'll hit on both things you said. The draw, first of all, like the number of courts, right? That there are 18 courts at a Grand Slam tennis complex, and you think about the number of matches that they need to complete. That I guess people wouldn't realize from watching tennis on TV, because you see the big courts and you get that there's 128 players in a singles draw, right? But what about the juniors? And then what about the mixed doubles, the men's doubles, the women's doubles, even like the wheelchair tennis draws, right? Like there is so much tennis to be played every single day, and the outer courts, like it's bustling. I mean, people are taking that in and enjoying that live. Yeah. And then the second thing with the crowds, you said at one point that the crowd can't pick a side. Yeah. And that's so unique about tennis because no one really leaves unhappy. I mean, sometimes people have favorite players or like the Serbian fans that were...
Oh, that was too funny. The Serbian fans that were cheering and clapping like this after every single point.
Synchronized clapping was an interesting
choice.
The
new sport they're coming out with next year for the Olympics.
So, you know, they might have left the Nishikori match disappointed, but for the most part, people are watching and they don't care who wins or who loses, which is like so unique. Right. What about the play? These are the best tennis players in the world. You've only watched them on a screen. Right. Now you're watching them live. What do you think of the play?
It's so much more impressive in person. Like you watch it on tennis and on TV, and you're like, oh yeah, like I could do that. Yeah. And then you watch it in person. You're watching someone from like all the way in the back court coming all the way up to the net to try to make a shot, and you're just like, or make a save. I don't know what
volley.
A volley. Thank you. And you're just like, oh my gosh, like how did you make that shot? And it's really impressive. Yeah. And also sliding on the clay courts is really fun. That's not. I don't know. I feel like I haven't watched that much clay court tennis except with you before, I guess. So that was also really cool.
Yeah, that's a good segue into U.S. Open, French Open comparison. I've now hit 2 of the 4 Grand Slams. I'll be hitting my 3rd a little bit later when I go to Wimbledon. But I'd say one thing, and I wanna do a comparison here.
Okay, I can't help you with the U.S. Open.
Right. So the clay is gorgeous. It's more aesthetically pleasing than the U.S. Open hard court. But for the most part, I would say the U.S. Open has like more advantages over the French Open. It's a bit of a more spacious grounds.
Yeah, it was pretty tight a lot of times.
Pretty tight, pretty small.
We were crowded and a bunch of people trying to get...
One thing that disappointed me about just the grounds of the French Open compared to the U.S. Open. And let me preface this by saying we've had 2 dinners here in Paris, and they have both been so good. The food on the grounds is not plentiful. The options. It seems almost like the French Open does their own, I guess, I don't know.
Catering. I think they did because it wasn't a brand. Like the sandwiches,
Right.
they had like sandwiches and salads and stuff, but like it wasn't a brand. The only brand I saw was Tropicana, Perrier, shocker, because that was like the sponsor.
Yeah.
And Magnum, like chocolate.
Yeah.
You know, the ice cream.
If you go to the U.S. Open, you go to their kind of food court-like complex. Indian food, Italian food, tacos, hamburgers, pizza.
Let's go to the U.S. Open.
Vegan, everything.
Right. I don't know. They don't.
Everything.
I don't think they had. Not that I'm a vegan, but like, they didn't have any of that.
Yeah. Anyway, I wouldn't care about vegan options anyway. But like the point is,
right. But like they don't have it.
Right. But like the point is, you go to the U.S. Open and it is like, I mean, think about, you just have so much to choose from, and Paris obviously kind of known for its food, didn't really have that. That'll do it. We're very tired from the sun, and we're very red.
Sober.
Yeah. So hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe. Finish my outro. Do you know it? What do I say at the end?
See you next time.
That's it.
Hey! Wait, you do this thing too.